What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Casey, and I thought we would start the year off with some easy, simple, affordable Jeep mods. And the reason why I wanted to make this video was actually because I got this in the mail. This is from my friend Ryan, aka Ryan Utah on Instagram. He is the one who had the two-door JL on 40s on our Rubicon trip. And he has a company called, you may have seen this. This is called Utah Design Factory. But he sent me this cool cover plates for the inside of my bumper. And it just got me thinking, well, I've done a couple of other things to the Jeeps over the holidays, a few little small mods, couple things I've been thinking about. So as with every video, why don't I share it with you guys? So these are designed, if you have a steel modular bumper where you can take the end caps off, these are designed to go in behind here and kind of hide and cover up some of this messy wiring that's pretty much just left exposed from the factory. Now I have some custom aftermarket Baja Designs fog lights in here. So we've got a little extra wiring, but you know, it's a place for mud to get up in here and sticks to get up, and they can grab these wires and kind of rip things around. So Ryan has designed these cool little plates, or looks like they're powder coated or something, super light. Gonna guess these are aluminum. Or they just go like this right here, and we're gonna bolt this on in like 30 seconds and cover up this mess behind here, and that'll look a lot cleaner. And there we go, 2 quick bolts, and you can put the plate on with the seal, and now the back of your front bumper doesn't look so unfinished, full of wires hanging out everywhere, and gives it a little protection from sticks or whatever else might get kicked up there. So, all right, I'm gonna fire the other one on. If you want some of these, check out Utah Design Factory, or you can email my friend Ryan right here, right at the bottom, if that's in focus, Ryan at ryanutah.com. He'll help you out, get you a set of these. And Ryan was nice enough to give you guys a coupon code. So if you want to save, I think it's 10%, use the code KC250. I'll put a link down in the description. These, check them out. Pretty cool, little simple little things that people are coming up with just to kind of tweak your Jeep a little bit. Okay, the next one we're going to come around to the back of the Jeep for and pop our new glass hatch on our hardtop. I know we kind of snuck the hardtop on a few videos ago. It's definitely nicer than having a soft top. But one of the things I really wanted to do was install some lighting on the glass hatch. And this was something I found on Amazon, and I installed this, I don't know, in the better part of 30 minutes. But you can see this right here, this strip. This is like a, I don't know, it's like a soft, squishy strip. This just went on with some 3M tape. This is made for the Wrangler hatch. It's like a wedge with tape on both sides. It tucks right in there. And I've wired it into my switch panel, and it runs off 12 volt. It's probably not the best thing to show you guys in the middle of the day. I'll come out and get a shot at night. So now we've got some nice light over top of our cooking and eating area and accessing gear and all that kind of stuff. Now, I won't show you guys a full install of this. There's a couple different ways you can install this, but it's pretty simple. There's a wire that comes off, and you just kind of pop this trim panel off. This piece of plastic here comes off with some trim removal tools, which you guys should all have. If you don't, I'll put a link to these ones in the description below. And I didn't do the best of jobs. I need to rewire this because I want to bring this back in and be part of this wire that's coming off the hatch. So I need to extend the wire a little bit, but basically the wire just comes down. There's a couple two different ways that you can wire this in from the factory, but from the manufacturer. But we've got this little barrel connector here that has 2 different types of ends on it. The end that I went with is just a bare wire, positive and negative lead, and I wired it into the panel way back there that's being fed with 12 volts off my EcoFlow. The other option is you can swap this wire off and put a 12 volt cigarette plug adapter that goes into one of these types of plugs, and you have one right here. They give you enough length that you can wire this in without having to do any wiring, if that makes sense. You basically just plug it right into this 12-volt port, which is always on. So if you don't have a switch panel like I have here on the side, they actually give you a little remote that works with this, and I lost it. I don't know where the remote is, but they actually have a Bluetooth remote for, looks like Android. Oh, no, that's not us. Yeah, that's us, Google Play, Android. I don't know if they have one for Apple. You guys are out on your own. But we can just install this Happy Lighting app on your phone, and now we can turn this on and off. There we go. We can have blue or red. Wonder if we can do alternating blue and red. Probably not a good idea, but that'd be one way to deal with tailgaters. I'm just gonna leave it on white because that gives me the best light for when I'm out camping. And I'm gonna leave mine always turned on, and I will just turn it on and off as needed with my little panel here in the back. If you have aux switches, it would be super easy to just run a wire all the way under your carpet to the front, and there's wires underneath your passenger side of the dash that you can control your aux switches. I wonder if you could add some sort of switch, you know, that automatically detected when the tailgate was open or closed. If you want to get fancy, I'm sure somebody could figure that out. But I don't need that, and this is supposed to be simple Jeep mods today. Before we move on to the next one, I'm gonna take a quick second to plug my merch brand, dirtyanddangerous.com. We have Dirty and Dangerous and Safety Second apparel and hats and toques and all that kind of stuff. So this is my own merch brand. It helps support making these videos and buying products to do brutally honest reviews, so they're not sponsored or anything like that, and going out on trips and taking the Jeeps out and making content for you guys. There's Dirty and Dangerous, Safety Second. There's the zip up hoodie that I have on there with the Rubicon Trail on the back from our trip back in September. I appreciate it if you guys pick up something for yourself and help support me making these videos. It goes a long way. I appreciate it a ton. dirtyanddangerous.com. All right, this next one, I've talked about this before, but we don't actually need to do this to the Wrangler. We need to do it to the Gladiator, but let me show you here on the front fenders. If I pull the fender back, you can see this black trim in here that I have had now for 4+ years, and it goes all the way down, but mostly you need it up here at the top, and this really helps keep rocks out. I did a video about this right when I bought the Wrangler 4 years ago, but I've seen comments on the forums and in my own comment section about how to keep rocks out of your fenders, and this is what I'm using. And I actually still need to do this to the Gladiator, but it just goes right in the little seam of your fenders right there. So you can see just how much more crud is building up in my Gladiator. I need to get the hose out and blow all this out, and then we're gonna take some of this and put it in all of the fenders. Look at all these rocks that just build up in there, and a little bit of trim, a little bit of rubber tubing trim in there goes a long way. And unless you whack your fender on a rock or a tree, that trim is pretty much gonna stay in there. On the Wrangler, like, that's been there for 4 years and it's still good. So I'm gonna fire this in here real quick. I'll show you how to do that. It's super easy. And those trim tools I was saying you guys should have, like, they come in handy all the time. I have a whole bunch of these trim tools in my toolbox. I'll put a link to these down in the description below if you want to check them out. But grab some trim tools because this will kind of help you poke that in there. But first we got to clean out all the crap that's in there already. This won't stop like leaves and pine needles from sitting here, but what you don't want is all those little tiny rocks getting in here, and this will help prevent them from falling into that little gap that Jeep's created, which is even more of a gap on the Rubicon higher fender flares. So we just tucked it all the way in. Almost looks factory. You can stop at this black trim piece if you want, or you can kind of keep going and run it all the way down. Now what I did at the end, both ends, is kind of curl it around and tuck it in nice and deep so it doesn't pop out. Almost like it should be like that from the factory on the fenders. So I'm gonna do all the other ones. So I'm gonna do 3 more, but I'll put a link to this exact tubing that I used. I just got this on Amazon. It's like super cheap. And I'll put a link down in the description for you guys to pick up for yourself. Okay, this next one, I'm not even really sure if I want to put this in the video, but then I was thinking, if I've had this discussion with my friends at some point, then you guys will probably be sort of interested. And that is floor mats. Now, we're not going to be talking about the fabric ones, the material ones that come with the Jeep, but a great addition or mod or thing you can do with your Jeep is to change out the floor mats. And there seems to be several different options to get away from the fabric carpet ones. I'll show you the 2 different rubber floor mats that I'm using and why I use them over the carpet ones, but there's also several other ones out on the market. So I was actually kind of thinking about doing a floor mat comparison. I don't know, is that a lame video, or should we get like 4, 5, 6 different floor mats out there, different price points, and see which ones are actually worth the money or not? But I'll show you what I'm using right now. So in the Wrangler, I'm using the factory ones from Jeep. These are the Jeep floor mats. These floor mats, they do a pretty good job at sealing up, you know, about 1.5 inches along the side. They have a drain hole, which we've cut this off because I need to put my Kraken back in here, but that's a whole other story. They have a drain hole that plugs into the floor drain hole so that if you have water in here, you can pull this out. It drains right through to the floor. I have literally never ever used that. I'll show you the other floor mats in the Gladiator in a second because they don't actually have drain holes. But on this side, we have them connected right through. So this one still has it, goes right through. There's no cap underneath. You just pull this drain hole out and or this cap out, and you can drain any water in your floor mats. You can see there's, you know, a bit of a gap around the edge. It doesn't cover everything. These do get a little bit wet. I have had people say they get water up through these. You got to give them a really good smack to make sure they click into place. I've never actually had water come up through these with all the adventures that we go on. I feel like I need to dry my Jeep out. I think there's so much moisture in here from all the rain, and I haven't been driving it. That's why I have the dry Z air in there, but I think I need to dry this Jeep out really good. I need to get it nice and hot and dried out. But anyways, oh yeah, if you guys are wondering what this is, I keep these in my Jeeps if I'm not driving them for a few weeks. These are dry Z airs, and they pull the moisture out of the air because you can see we live in a very wet climate. There's actually water on the inside, condensation on the inside of the Jeep, just because it sits all the time. Before I go show you the other floor mats, I'll throw this question at you. But do you guys see more condensation in your Jeep with a hard top versus soft top? I feel like with the soft top, I never got condensation in the Jeep when it was sitting for a few weeks. With the hard top, I do. And I'm wondering, like, does it not let out air, and when the moisture evaporates and dries in the vehicle, does it not let it out? And with the soft top, it's got enough ways to escape. This is something I noticed, and I don't think it's like leaking in any of these holes when it's sitting here, but interesting observation. Anyways, let me show you what we put in the Gladiator. So in here we have another company's floor mats. These are Husky liners. These came recommended to me from a few friends, so I thought I'd give them a try. Now you see they don't have a drain hole in here at all, but like I said, I've never used the drain hole in my floor mats. Maybe if you get a lot of snow and you want it drained out, but they just cover up. Like I was gonna say they cover up the drain hole, but I haven't actually even punched the drain hole out from the factory carpet. That's basically goes to say, like, I never use it. But there's actually some moisture under here, so I should probably take my rubber mats out and dry out my carpet underneath. And that's probably because when you're getting in, like, these ones don't fit as tight. They come up a little bit higher, but they don't, you know, there's a little bit of a gap here. They're not super tight, especially around here. You can see how these are gapping like that. And Jeeps are notorious for leaking water right here. Now the newer Jeeps have a little gutter system that helps direct the water into the secondary channel here. If you have an older JL or JT, it may not have this, but it still lets water, you know, in and down, and it can end up coming down in here. You can see all the drips, and then it goes under there into the carpet. So these are the Husky liners. They're not as rigid, a little softer, but anyways, there are several brands of rubber or plastic or whatever different materials they're using for floor mats these days. Some of them are like laser cut or laser measured or whatever. But I think definitely taking out your carpet floor mats and putting in some rubber floor mats if you're off-roading or even through the winter crappy weather is a good idea. Let me know if you want to see a floor mat comparison. I'm gonna maybe find 3 or 4 other, maybe we can get like 5, 6, 7 total. I don't know how many there are. I'm gonna have to go Google around, but let me know down in the comments your preferred floor mats if you are using some, or ones that I should check out that you're wondering or thinking about buying. I'll order them all up. I'll show you guys the different non-carpet floor mats out there for getting muddy, snowy, water, all that kind of stuff in our Jeeps, because that's super common, right? And we'll do a comparison video. Real quick, before we move on to the next couple of items, I am trying to get my channel to 100,000 subscribers. It has been a long goal of mine. I could really use your help. You hitting subscribe lets me know that I'm making the right kind of content, that we're on the right track. The channel's growing, and I would appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button, and you can keep an eye out for future videos like rubber floor mat comparison video. But I'm also about to make the most requested video, and that is how much did it cost to build my 840 horsepower supercharged Hemi Jeep Gladiator behind us. It's got an engine swap, an axle swap, 40s, crazy metal cloak suspension. It's got everything on there. I'm going to add it all up, estimate the labor, and give you guys a total price of all the different mods and how much the Jeep cost me to build. So don't miss that video. It's probably going to be next week's upload, because I'm going to shoot that right after this video here. And hit subscribe, turn those notifications on. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers, guys. Now that you're all subscribed, you've got your merch. Let's cover off 2 more simple, easy Jeep mods that every new Jeep owner should check out. We're gonna need the key for the Jeep for the last one of 2. Now, I know I said I was gonna do 5 mods. I'm actually doing 5 mods plus a bonus mod, because it's kind of like depends on some of the options you have in your Jeep, whether the last one will be something you want, but I think it's like super essential to have in your Jeep. But before that, number 5, because we're on to 5, right? We're on to, we did, what did we do? We did the end caps, we did the light for the tailgate, we did the tubing, we did floor mats. Number 5. Whew, glad I can still count in 2024. Now, this is something I made several videos on. Oh, this is the this is the America's Most Wanted version. I forgot. We have the America's Most Wanted sticker on this. You guys don't want to buy this one unless, of course, you have an America's Most Wanted swapped Jeep built by our friends at Epic Adventure Outfitters and White Rock Dodge. Go check them out if you want more info on that. But no, what that is a Taser JL Mini. Now, I've done several videos on the Taser JL Mini, because honestly, they keep adding so many new features to it that I have to keep making new videos to show you guys all the cool stuff they do. But honestly, guys, the Taser JL Mini adds so many features and cool little functions to your Jeep that I honestly wouldn't even want to drive it off the lot without ordering up a Taser JL. So it can do all kinds of things, from adjust your tire size. Well, like not actually give you bigger tires, but like when you put bigger tires on, you can now recalibrate your speedometer. Putting larger tires is a pretty common mod for your Jeep, so having an accurate speedo is important. I'll just show you a couple of my favorites real quick. I'm not going to go through a whole Taser JL video. I'll put a link up in the corner to a couple of my other ones that I've done last year and the year before, talking about all the kinds of features and functionalities of them. But they're super easy to install. You basically just take two plugs underneath your dash and unplug them, plug them into the Taser JL, and then you can follow my video on how to change the settings. It's all done with your steering wheel controls in the dash. You're gonna use your steering wheel controls. You gotta bring this down. Now this is sometimes option 6, sometimes option 7, depending on I don't know what. But in my Gladiator, it's option 6, the audio setting. In the Wrangler, it's actually option 7, the audio setting. Maybe, I don't know, because it's a diesel. Who knows? But once you're there, you need to use 2 hands hold down this left arrow, and now you can hit the cancel button and cycle through some of the settings. Fog drop, we can set to no, so when you have your high beams on, your fog lights aren't going to drop out, which they would normally do. But there's some off-road settings in here. I don't have a sway bar or electronic power steering. Paddle shift, so you can actually go in here if you add paddles to your steering wheel, which is going to be coming in a future video. I'm going to show you guys how to add paddle shifters like the 392 Wrangler. We're going to add some paddle shifters to the steering wheel. Once we add them to the steering wheel, we're going to use our taser jail to come in here and tell the Jeep that we have paddles. You can read your diagnostic trouble codes, which is very helpful if you get a check engine light and you're out and about and don't have a scanner. You can see the check engine codes and clear them. There are some settings called live settings, which can only be accessed while the vehicle is running. Hopefully the supercharged Hemi is not too loud for you guys. But what we want here, this is the one I really like. This is the turn cam, and you got to select your screen size. We've got the 8.4 and the kill honk. So this is going to now disable when we step away from our vehicle and it's running and we've got the keys in our pocket. It won't honk at us anymore. It's called kill honk. Now, when we turn our turn signal on, our rear camera comes on and it really gives you some good visibility. It's actually, I find, better visibility on the Wrangler when you do that, but it lets you see your blind spots a little bit better, and I really like having this when changing lanes, especially at night or you know, merging and things like that. It's pretty helpful. Okay, that's 5 things. Now for the bonus item. The bonus item, I think, this isn't necessarily universal to Jeeps only, but Jeeps make this, well, depending on which options you have, and I think with 2024s and up, this is pretty much a standard option. But if you have the auxiliary switches, like I showed you guys earlier, this next mod is super easy to install. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I see a lot of people don't even know that these wires exist under the dash. But what I'm talking about is a dash cam. You can see it hiding right there behind my mirror. There are a lot of different dash cams out there on the market. I use one from Blackview because it's super discreet. It doesn't have a screen on it or anything like that. And this second wire coming off it actually goes to a camera in the back, which is less useful for seeing, I can't really see it, let me show you. Which is less useful for seeing people behind you and accidents. You can see a little bit, but you know, if someone were to break into my Jeep, you see this, there's a second little, looks like a lipstick container back here, and it keeps an eye on the back of the Jeep. So if anybody's messing around in the back, that camera is gonna get them. So it's kind of helpful. The reason why I bring up a dash cam is they're super easy to install if you have these auxiliary switches. Most people know that the auxiliary switches have a set of 4 wires under the hood, but a lot of people that I've found out don't know there are a second set of wires underneath here that you can use for all of those auxiliary switches. But the thing that even less people know is there's actually 2 more wires underneath the dash if you have the auxiliary switch system, or if you have the auxiliary switch feature. Now there are 4 wires, 1 for each of the auxiliary switches, but the other 2 wires, they're not underneath the hood, they're only underneath the dash. 1 wire is always powered, constant power, and the other wire is ignition power. So when the vehicle is turned to the run setting, that will be powered. So you don't need to use up any of your auxiliary switches for your dash cam. It's like Jeep just knew that we would need a constant power and a running or on accessory power to run dash cam. So you can take those 2 wires, because you need usually 2. My Blackview needs 2. It needs always on power and switch power to know when the vehicle's running. And you can literally just pop these panels off, there's a screw in here, you pop this handle off, and you can run the 2 wires all the way up to the dash. I could probably install this dash cam in 15 to 20 minutes. So you don't need to pull apart your Jeep. You don't need to know how to remove door panels or the dash or do funny trim wiring and all that kind of stuff. You can just run these wires up here. You just grab this and pull this down, pull the little piece off of here, unbolt the handle, and you just connect it up to the 2 wires underneath your dash. And that's it, super simple. So that's why I wanted to mention that, because we're talking about easy mods. Dash cams have a huge variety and array of pricing, but just how easy it is to add one, every Jeep should have a dash cam. All right guys, for 2024, I want to do more videos based on your feedback, things you guys want to see, the comments you leave. Let me know video ideas, things you want to see on the channel, things you want to see more of, videos you want me to make. I've had a lot of like feedback around, we want to see more rig reviews, we want to see more brutally honest reviews, but are comparison against products, not just one product, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to figure out exactly where to put my time for content, because traveling has been very taxing on me. And honestly, I like doing reviews and showing you guys cool mods and doing walkarounds of Jeeps and stuff like that. But if there's something specific, is there a specific vehicle you want to see reviewed? Is there a specific mod you want to see reviewed? Is there all kinds of whatever comes to mind, let me know down in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I'm keeping an eye out on trends of comments for future video ideas. So 2024 is going to be a lot more videos produced based on what you guys want to see, what you guys leave comments for on these videos. So with that said, leave a comment, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss those upcoming videos, especially the walk around of the Gladiator and the total price to build that thing. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you've got the little notification bell turned on. I have enabled channel memberships. I do upload some private videos to the members groups only. It starts at only a couple bucks a month. If you want to help support the channel, check it out. There's a members button right next to the subscribe button. And check out dirtyanddangerous.com, grab some merch. Don't forget, safety second, always have fun, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.